Hey everybody, it's Adam coming back at you with another live. Mr. G's Collectibles Co. coming out from Green Trees Company right here in the Hendersonville store, the dispensary, where legal cannabis products are sold right here in the Nashville area. We have a store here in Hendersonville and a store in West Nashville. But today we are here to talk about Mr. G stuff. We're here to talk about specifically some pillows. We're going to talk about killer pillows. And what I'm doing here today is actually I'm going through cases, and these are really cool. They're basically 20 by 20 pillowcases. You're going to see them backwards probably because I have the other camera on, but of course they are written the right way. I'm doing this today by myself. So what I'm going to be doing is going through a lot of cases today, and as I'm going through them, I'm going to be making up rings for display purposes of like cases at trade shows and events that we do. So as I'm going through them, I'll show some off, of course, and if folks are interested in buying these, you can contact us directly and we can ship them right out to you. They're only $25 a piece, today only during this live. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to start first with just doing some separating on this one, and I'm going to begin to open up and get myself a nice ring that's cleared that I can work with. And then I think I'm going to bundle up, we'll bundle up some horror stuff first. Maybe we'll start with some Jason from Friday the 13th. Oh, look at that. I've even got a handbag from Stranger Things. That's pretty neat. And of course, again, it is probably backwards on your screen. Pillows are pretty cool. We used to go around the country selling these, my wife and I, ages ago. Again, 20 by 20. This one's a two-sided. Fills with like a prefab, which is something like this. Or you can stuff them with like a polyfill or otherwise. They're really cool and they're comfortable. So I'm going to start putting some Jason pillows aside, and we're going to make a ring of that. Let's see what else we have while I'm here. Pan's Labyrinth. Again, if somebody sees something they want, just shoot a message into this in the comments and we can touch base and work it out to get it to you. Halloween's coming up. Oh, we got another Jason here. That one is one-sided. It's kind of like a canvasy type material on this one. The Jason file. Oh, this is pretty cool. This is like a number of villains together. It's also one-sided. It's more of that. It's soft, but it is a little bit of a different type of material. I think we'll keep that for some sort of a combo ring. And again, we're going to make up a ring that we're going to be using to display a number of Jason pillows for taking to an event to show things off. We got a sugar skull, one-sided. And again, it's that sort of burlappy type of stuff, but it's very soft. 20 by 20, easy to fill. There's a zipper across the bottom of these guys. Again, you could put a prefab in, or oh, this is great for Halloween. There's another one. Memories these pillows bring, it's so funny. Wow. So many conventions and shows. Oh, this is an interesting one. Now, this is a slightly different type of material. This one's a little slicker feeling. You got the skull design there. You know, it's really funny. I've looked at this pillow 1,000 times, and I don't think I've ever really appreciated the art because I've never seen it from a distance like that. Wow. Another one that's two-sided. We're going to go through a bunch of these today. Just let me know if this... Oh, there's a Jason. That's really cool. Now, this is a really one-sided. This is a really soft... I don't know how to describe that. Like a velvety... Just, I mean, really soft to the skin. These are great throw pillows, though. I do sell them to people who like to hang them from the wall in similar fashion to how I hang them from the wall here to display them. It's funny, when you go to a show, a lot of folks think they're t-shirts or something like that. Oh, Freddie's making an appearance. T-shirts or something like that. And, oh, look at this. Wow. If you've been to a horror convention, or a convention of any kind, let me know. Always on the lookout. Again, everything's backwards to you. I'm using the opposite camera. Always on the lookout for new shows and events. We're based out of the Nashville area. Just did the Nashville Horror Con. It was a first-year event this past weekend. It was fun. Before that was the Nashville Comic Con, and you know, we fill the need with all of that here at Green Trees / Mr. G's. Whether it be things like these pillows, or, I mean, if you see behind me there, there's just thousands upon thousands of, I'll just grab something here. I'm just reaching into a random box. Just got a ton of comics here. And we'll be doing different lives with the comics too. And again, everything is reversed because of the camera. But just fantastic books. The story behind getting the comics and how we get involved in this is a fable unto itself. Another thing we've got, folks, is we do have some blankets. I don't want to unfold this whole thing. We'll do that at another time. But these are some really nice soft blankets. This one is for The Exorcist. There's art just like the pillows on them. I only have a handful of those left. All right, we're digging into these rings. Well, let me finish what's on this table. Little Halloween. Uh-oh, Gacy. Two-sided, another soft one. Although, I don't think I'd want to cuddle up to him. The things people have said to me at conventions, wow. I remember back in the day, The Walking Dead was the craze, and boy, the things people would say about that stuff. And the actors that were on it. Remember, folks, the letters are backwards to you only because the camera is right now shooting this one alone. We're going to dig into another ring and see what we have. And just reminders, if you're tuning in later, these are 20 by 20 throw pillows, cases, very easy to fill. The zippers on the bottom. You can fill them with a preform or another pillow, I guess, or you can stuff them with like a polyfill. This one's a two-sided Thanos. I'll show you a finished one right behind me. That's an example of one right there. Oh, that was Thanos we just pulled out, actually. That would have been a better example. Superman. If you like a particular horror icon, there's a very good chance we're going to have it here. Shoot me a message into the comments and I'll do some digging and see if we do. Oh, there we go. That's what we're digging for right now, is the Jasons. Anything Jason related. Oh, this is really cool. This is an old time mashup. So we've been doing our thing down here in Tennessee now for a few years. Here at Green Trees Company, another mashup. Pretty cool place to live. No regrets in coming here. For those who are thinking about making changes in their lives or whatever, I highly suggest, if you ever feel stagnant or change is needed, Pumpkinhead, listen to yourself and make the change. You never know what you're going to find on the other side, and it might just be everything you've been hoping for. Might not, but you'd never know otherwise. Again, everything's backwards, guys, due to the camera being swapped. Crazy stuff. There are so many. Wow. Oh, that one's not a ring and it's already folded, so I'm just going to cut through real quick and pull a few interesting ones aside. Get an eyeful. This one's pretty awesome. Phantom of the Opera, Lon Chaney. And again, only backwards on your screen due to the camera. Who likes Hellboy? I know I do. That's a badass pillow. Batman. Yeah, something for everyone in Mr. G's, I'll tell you. The comics really are again, only backwards because of the camera, guys. The comics are really something that's a lot of fun. It's very interesting getting into the comics and realizing that, you know, there's a great value in raw comics because people still want to read the old stuff, and of course there's value in the graded. We've got combinations of both. If you check our details of this video, you're going to see I already dropped the links to GTC Collectibles, which is our pretty much our video store on eBay. I've got a lot of movies for sale on there. I think there's almost 1,000 auctions on that particular site. And then the Mr. G's eBay has a lot of vintage toys and comics and all sorts of goodies going on over there. And I did drop the link for that as well in the details, so you can check that too. We're going to get into this a little bit further. It looks like I have some obscure and unique stuff. Bingo. All right. Again, guys, if you're interested in a pillowcase during this live, and this live only, if you reach out to me, they are $25 a piece, and we'll ship them out to you. Drop me a comment in the thread during the live. Or you know what? We'll keep it for the next 24 hours. I noticed the last one got bounced around a bit, so if you catch me on this live with a comment in the next 24 hours, how about that? We'll do $25 a case plus shipping. USA only, please. There's another Halloween one. Halloween. I think that's kind of how it all began. Anybody have an interesting Halloween story they want to share? I'd love to hear it. I could tell you a funny one. I'll tell you about the time I came home one day and found my wife digging holes in the backyard. I asked her what she was doing. She said, "Don't worry, I'm not digging your grave." If any of my friends are watching this, they're going to laugh right now. They're going to know why. Because we built a haunted house in my backyard. And, you know, I've heard the term of being so scared you run out of your shoes, and actually witnessed it happen. People running for their lives, throwing their girlfriends in front of the monster. Just ridiculous in somebody's backyard. Well, that's how crazy it is sometimes, and moments like that, doing things like that with good people, alter the path or the course of our lives. Where are we here? Oh, there we are with Alien. All right. We're cutting through the mustard now, folks. Killer clowns. You know what? I don't think I'm going to have enough time today to make up a ring. I may just keep pulling some pillowcases aside for you all to see while I separate out more Jasons. That was a big a big call this weekend at the Nashville Horror Con. Man, everybody was asking about Jason pillows. What an iconic character. That's just fascinating, honestly. The staying power, the performances, the consistency, it all adds up to years upon years of, oh, this is a nice one too, of people having an interest in a particular icon. Oh, we got a handbag. Stranger Things. Handbag. Only a couple of those. I think honestly we have 2, maybe 3 left of the handbags. Creature from the Black Lagoon, 2-sider. Again, it's only backwards on your screen because of the camera. That was a nice Halloween one. Again, that nice soft material. Drop a comment if you're interested in a pillowcase for this live only for the next 25 or 24 hours. We'll do them at $25 a piece with shipping, plus shipping. Sorry. Now this one's a different material than the last guys. This one is that sort of that canvasy type material, but again, it's soft. There is one that's in that softer material though. On that, you'd have to let me know. If it's still an option, if you reach out. And I do get some DMs and stuff too, so however you want to reach out is fine. Oh, this looks like an interesting skull design. Another one of those that I can appreciate better from a distance. I guess on the couch across the room might not be bad. That's a nice wolf. Another one of those 2-siders, nice and soft. Uh-oh. Got the bad guys. Well, we're getting into the toys too. Wow, speaking of toys, you know, I never would have thought that here I am in my 50s and I play with toys during the day. That's fantastic. That one's going to go into what we're looking for pile. But yeah, it's amazing. I'm hunting for toys. I'm setting up toys around the showroom. Coming up with cool dioramas of toys for the stuff that's open box. It's really, it's wild. It's really wild. That's cutie. It's always fun finding a new box too. Even boxes of things that have come in already and I just lost track of somehow. like yesterday. Just finding all sorts of old video games that had just been sitting under the table. Didn't know they were there. A lot of stuff comes in at once. Like I was explaining yesterday, sometimes it's the thing. Sometimes you get a little overwhelmed. I kind of do a lot of my buying in a carpet bomb fashion sometimes, and maybe I'll hit a vein of gold, let's say, of something I want. I'll just start going after it and competing and so on. And what ends up happening is a lot of packages come in at once. We got some people checking in. James is watching. Tony, thanks, guys. No, there is no age limit. Not at all. Trust and believe. But yeah, I'll just start bringing in a ton of stuff, and it's hilarious when it happens because it's King Kong. It's fun opening it, but my mind's already on the next round of what I'm chasing. And my staff jumps in, and I got Ange, who's my grader. We put her through some grading courses, so she's fantastic, honestly, at grading comic books. I've had comic store owners come to me at the Comic-Con and go through our books, and they walk up with the eyebrow raised at first, and they go through the books, and they're right on point. They're always, there's never a question on our pricing or anything like that. So it's really nice to have somebody who enjoys going through this stuff as much as I do. Working literally by my side is either A, I'm trying to hunt for things, or B, we're cracking boxes when things are coming in. Yesterday was a fun example. If you all want to go back and watch yesterday's live, there was a massive box that came in, and it was some stuff I had won on auction weeks and weeks ago. And when it came in, I could recognize the name on the box, but I really don't know what's in the box at that point. And sometimes I'm let's say I'm trying to win something that I see in a table, or in a room, or in a locker, or whatever it is, and I'm not even aware that what I'm going to be getting, if I get it, is everything that surrounds it too. That's kind of what happened. So there was a lot of Dale Earnhardt stuff, which was really neat, and Cal Ripken Jr. stuff was in there too. There's also times where I have found my way into this treasure hunting game, and I know how to find things now. I'm not going to say easily, but that's a repeat on Manson, Bundy. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's something I enjoy, and now I have people asking me to find them things, and that's been a lot of fun when I have found something that somebody has been looking for and they felt that they exhausted all the resources. By the way, guys, again, just a reminder, if anything is backwards on your screens, because I'm doing this alone today. I don't have Kaylee, and I'm just using the reverse camera. But of course, everything is right side up and left to right on these guys. It's kind of cool getting back into the convention stuff. I haven't done that in years. Especially you fellows that are on there know. My time with conventions and selling the stuff was with Elsie, and it was an amazing time. And COVID came in, and things happen and people leave. And Ed and I are looking at ways that we can keep growing green trees, and we've had these pillows this whole time here dressing up the back room, and we sell them on occasion. And every now and then, if somebody touches base with me from the past and says, "Hey, do you have this? Can you send me pictures?" And those are always cool moments. I love that one. That one almost went this weekend. We just in the hemp industry right now, there's some changes and things happening, and I just feel like it's always important to have not all your eggs in one basket, let's put it that way. And so being that the collectibles and memorabilia side of things had kind of been slowly percolating on the side as kind of making us a point of difference in your shopping experience when you come into our dispensaries, instead of like everything being pipes and glass and tie-dye. Instead you have like this smack of memorabilia and pop culture and things that let's face it, at least for a lot of us, are very comforting. You know, see things from your childhood. And yes, it's 21 and over to get in the first place. It's part of how I can have that stuff on display in dispensaries. I won't let you in the door if you're not over 21. Some Harry Potter stuff there. But, you know, starting that off with just what I had in my collection and some things Elsa and I had gathered over the years was enough to decorate the store. And ultimately what happened was the things that I had in the store began to run out. And literally the customers and the flow of customers and traffic are what decided that I needed to get more involved in this. Funny story is how the comics started. I think I alluded that I was going to tell the story earlier. I may have told it before, but it's a funny story nonetheless. That's Freddie. But I had boxes of all I collected as a kid. It was like Spider-Man and Hulk or something, right? And a few Batman. And Elsie had some horror stuff. And together we had built this nice little collection, maybe, I don't know, 10 boxes of comics, you know, from our youth. And so I said to Dad, I said, oh, let's set up in the back room, put some comics out, you know, blah, blah, blah. And so we did that, and, you know, time passes. And then one day, one of the girls comes to me. She says, Captain Spaulding, this is a fantastic, look at the pop on that pillow. Wow. But maybe because I like red and blue. I'm a Spider-Man guy. So that's what happens. So she comes up to me, she says, Ad, we don't have any more Spider-Man comics. So what are you talking about? We don't have any more Spider-Man comics. And I go into the back, like, you know, expecting to see my old childhood collection there, like, because I hadn't been in the back in a while. That's another Jason. That's what we're looking for. And there's nothing there. All the Spideys are gone. And I had this moment of like deep loss, because I remember every Wednesday night going to get baked ziti with my dad and my sister, the usual, at Sergio's. And every time we went, and I don't know if that place still exists, in East Northport, I think it was, on Larkville Road, and back in New York. And every Wednesday, like clockwork. And I love this twist on the princess stuff. And he would always tell me to go into the stationery store. And that was the late 70s, early 80s maybe? So maybe folks today don't even know what a stationery store is. I know some of my friends on here are laughing because they probably do. But that was where you went in, and that was, you know, the greeting cards and the candies and the spinner rack or the wall of comics and you know, stationery cards and the tchotchke crap that wasn't worth much, mostly cigarettes and things, and the porn and whatever magazines were there too. And you know, that was where I bought my comics, and it was like 2 a week type of deal. So I couldn't believe that my comics were gone, and I was stunned. And so I thought to myself, wait a second, this is crazy. People really are coming in here and they're buying this stuff. They're buying my comics. Well, that means only one thing. I have to satisfy them. I have to get more comics. And so what ended up, that's, of course, like I said before, the camera's backwards, so the lettering is too. So I got really into it, and in terms of researching, it's another HG, Invisible Man. If you know my nature at all, you know I kind of really like to research things, and especially before I do them. Game of Thrones. And anyway, through that passion to research, I began to find, let's just say, a lot of alternate methods and means, legal of course, to find things that the normal person just either bypasses or doesn't realize or isn't exposed to. And part of that too is because I am, I guess, in business already, so I was able to find my way to some resources that honestly have been fantastic. And one of them was in the very beginning, and I ended up taking a road trip to Pennsylvania from here in Nashville. Another Invisible Man. My car broke down the day I was about to leave, and Kaylee said, "Oh, no worries, Boris, you could take my car." And she gave me her, at the time, her Nissan Xterra, which was kind of her. And gave me only 1 or 2 times where it didn't want to start on the way home. But I had to do this 24-hour trip to Pennsylvania. That's all I had. And had to be back, and I had to get there and get it out of where it was, what I had won. And in this instance, it was a storage locker full of comics. Hey, Sherry, how are you? That was a really neat one. I had to do everything via photography and guesswork. And what it was a 5x5 unit. And I remember when I found it online, these are going to be a couple of multiples of the same zombie face, so I'm not going to keep bringing them up until I get past this pile. Anyway, so long story short is, it was a 5x5 unit. What I could see in the bins were neat comics. And when I'm saying what I could see, I mean I had to zoom and the whole thing to even be lucky to see what I was looking at. But my hunch just kept telling me everything in there is a box or a bin of comics, Adam. It was just screaming at me. And so I gambled on it, and I spent a few $1,000s, but nowhere near worth what it was that I brought home. And I remember I got there. I mean, my legs were trembling because I was so tired from the drive. And this woman says to me, "Oh, you're lucky. I was about to leave. You know, she was going to leave an hour early from the agreed upon time to go on her vacation or whatever. So that would have been a disaster. But she was there, and very nosy. She had to make sure that she watched and followed me the whole time. None of them do that. They basically, you pay the freight and you get your cart and you go and get your shit. You know, there isn't anybody watching. She was so curious to see what was in this locker. And lo and behold, that's cool. I got 3 of those at least. Lo and behold, it was everything I thought it was. And what was it? So after we got done, it was 7,000 bagged and boarded in near mint condition comics of just about every hero, and you can imagine. And really a wealth of the ones that I was looking for, which is like Batman and Spider-Man and stuff. And to this day, those comics, I still have a ton of them in our collection, even though we've gone past that number now. But those comics stand out. It's like whoever had them bought 2, one to read and one to just bag up. I see that a lot, actually, and a lot of people that I've spoken to kind of bring that up, that sometimes they just want to read books. They don't want the graded book. They want to read. And so there's a value in ungraded as well. Don't matter to me. I love the art. I don't really even open them much anymore. I let my grader do that. Hey, Marn, how are you? We're doing pillows today. $25 on the live. If you drop a comment in within the next 24 hours on this one, I'll do $25 on a pillowcase plus shipping here in North America. And of course, if you're noticing now, the text is backwards only because the camera's backwards today. I don't have Kaylee with me. Yeah, so the comic market's really fun. Another market that's a lot of fun is the toys. Wow, I'm really enjoying that. I did a Comic-Con and we broke out a lot of toys, and I mean, look, I found my way into some really vintage old stuff, and one of the things I had was an old Lego Star Wars set of some kind, and I think I had about 15 people that weekend that were all over that thing, and it wasn't cheap. And eventually, believe it or not, a teen bought it. I had a couple of older guys who obviously had deeper pockets, but they were concerned because they told me they were really fanatics about the quality of the box. So once I hear that, what do you think that tells me? From here forward, anything I'm searching for, I'm really bent on quality of box. So I do have some things that, are, let's call it pre that era or thought process. They're fantastic toys, still boxed up. Or maybe the box isn't 100%. But now that I know that the box is so important to collectors, I'm honing in on that too. I do some loose toys at times. Maybe selfish reasons. I enjoy the loose toys. There's another zombie face. We use the loose toys at times within the displays. It's kind of cool. I know we're hemp and cannabis. But we do have what we call residents, which are some certain toys that, for various reasons, have a emotional place in our hearts. Whether it's mine or Ad's or one of the girls. You know, some of these toys kind of become residents, and so the resident is the toy that it's kind of part of what you see in the store. It never goes away. It doesn't have a price tag around its neck, and it usually ends up set up in a different type of diorama or something like that. So, like, I have an Iron Man, and he's a little action figure. He's out of the box, and his leg broke off. He fell off a shelf, and he's actually he's black and silver. Maybe some kids one day played with him and changed him up or something. I don't know. But I have this Iron Man. He's really cool. He's this neat articulating figure, and Beetlejuice, and it kills me, two-sider, that his leg broke, right? And so he wasn't really for sale anyway. He was just he was one of those that I like seeing hang around. And so, I don't know. One of the things I'm trying to do in my life, as much as I'm collecting on the Mr. G's and the Green Tree side of things, in my personal life, I really am trying to cut down, right? But yet here I still have things from, like, believe it or not. So I got this old crocodile head or alligator head from a trip to New Orleans with Addison's mom way back in the day. And it was one of these things that's like, like this big, and it's kind of chompy or whatever. And I guess it was real, probably a baby that they murdered and lacquered and threw in a bin to sell to tourists through their heads in bins. So, long story short, there is he's now chomping on Iron Man's leg and like the display. You gotta have fun with this stuff. We got a Hulkbuster out there battling the Hulk. There's a Predator out there. Michael Myers, he's been a resident for a while. But it's just comes back to, oh, that was an early Jason. What am I doing? I almost threw him in the wrong pile. See that? I'm talking so much and joking around. I missed that. It's all part of my serious philosophy, and I really mean it. Is if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. And the last thing I want to do at this point in my life, because I've dealt with a lot of things already, is not have fun. And so honestly, I really don't care anymore. I just want to do what I want to do and have fun, and this is part of it. And if you want to be on board with it, that's what it's about. We want to spend our days smiling here. Drama's the last thing on the list. Here we got another one. That is fantastic. The stack of Jason pillows is getting taller. We're going to have an incredible ring of just Jason pillows when we're done. So what's next? What's next is we're really pounding away right now on this collectibles side. Part of the reason for that and focus on these type of things. Hey, Rob's on there, and so is my brother Eric. Good to see you both. Part of the reason for why we're doing what we're doing, and we're kind of taking this iron from the side of the fire and now putting it into the fire. As I mentioned earlier, is I don't think it's smart to have all the eggs in one basket, And I'm in a state down here in Tennessee where, the laws are constantly in flux when it comes to cannabis and hemp and so on. And we have been experiencing what we believe has been the golden age of cannabis down here, with legal products that, honestly, and I'm in the business, they're incredible. We've got products that aren't even legal in other states. They get the job done for folks medicinally and recreationally. They get the job done for pets. I just had somebody today asking me about 6,000 milligram strength oil for her horse. I mean, this stuff is the real deal for whatever purposes you need it. There are products out there, and not everything has THC. But that being said, this is really cool, and this is nice and soft. I got a bunch of these. At the end of the day, because the law is like any day you wake up, you find out, oh, well, this has changed, and maybe this has to come off your shelf, or, that's changed, and now there's an additional this or that. I just felt like, what, I have a philosophy, which is I don't want to live a life of drama and stress, and yet I'm in an industry where, as much as, we're doing the right thing any day we wake up and the news feed shows me something that the federal government's doing or Tennessee is doing, and it kind of can upset my apple cart and ruin my day. As there's only so much that I could take. I mean, I'm not looking to live the kind of life like that where every day you're wondering. So we just decided to take a proactive step in the midst of all that and just be like, what, we're going to start cranking up all this other stuff that we have and all these other resources that we have, so that again, all the eggs aren't in one basket. And so the first thing I wanted to do, that's a copy of that one, is jump right into this, because this is where we were already really strong, as I mentioned earlier, with some of the stuff that had happened that made me realize there was a market for this down here. Well, actually, not just down here, but everywhere, as long as you can be reached online. So that's when I decided, you know what, we're gonna spend a little bit more time doing this, Adam. And I sharpened up my pencils and dug in deeper, and now I I don't want to say it's like gambling, but if you've gambled, or if you've competed in your life, or shit, if you just scared someone in a haunted house, you know exactly what I'm about to say. There's an adrenaline rush, okay? And there's an adrenaline rush that comes with dog fighting too, when you're trying to get something that is a cool item, and yet there's maybe a room full of other people that know that too, and you're trying as hard as you can to get something and keep it at a level that that makes sense, because this is a business. I can't just buy everything on passion, and I do my best not to do that, because you can quickly get yourself into trouble doing that. Next thing you know, you can't sell anything because you've overpaid for everything. But man, there is some of those graded comics. There's been some dog fights, I could tell you, and it's very satisfying to win them. Very satisfying, and to know that you won them at a level that is honestly still way below what they're going to be, what they're going to be going for on the open market. It's really something. A lot of killer clowns. But yeah, so kind of a mishmash day. Yeah. So I'll spend my day, part of the day I'll be doing like the cannabis hemp stuff. Part of the day is messing around with the toys, or some sort of an auction somewhere, or we're going to pick up I've been honing in on a van. I want to get another vehicle for the fleet and essentially get myself a van that I can throw a cot in, because I do like to go out of state to get some of these things. You're never going to get anything unless you go after it, and honestly, that means sometimes physically you have to be uncomfortable and you got to take the ride, right? So I do that, and whether it's for something personal, like I did a 1,900-mile round trip to go get my motorcycle a couple of months ago, or it's something business. If it's really, if you really want it, you got to get off your ass and go do it. And so I'm thinking about picking up a van next. We got the 2 cars and the delivery car and the truck for Green Trees, but I'm thinking about a van for Mr. G's and brand that sucker out. The buy, sell, consignment, the cool logo, the whole nine. Hey, Michael Zinn's on there. How are you? Yeah, Rob, a lot of crazy stuff. But I think the van would be fun, and I don't mind roughing it and going to a hotel or a convention somewhere and sleeping in the back of that thing. I love that kind of stuff. I took the trip to go get the Repsol, the motorcycle, a month or so ago, and I threw an air mattress in the back of my Dodge Durango, and I slept back there every couple of hours in the back at a rest stop and just enjoyed myself. Honestly, believe it or not, on the way back, I only wanted to do a 2-hour stop at one point, and I fell asleep for about 6 hours on this blow up that Kay gave me for the back, and man, that was one of the best sleeps I ever had. I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to leave the rest stop. So my God, I still got to drive 9 more hours, and I don't want to get up off this air mattress. So yeah, while I can still do these things, while I guess I'm young and limber enough, I want to do them. So that's what I do. Some Walking Dead stuff. And again, guys, if anybody's new, if you're checking in, any of the letters that you see are going to be backwards, and that's because I don't have anyone helping me today, so I'm back here doing this up, and I have the camera swapped, so that one's really neat too. Movies. Let's talk some movies. So I'm sure everybody's going to go run out and see Deadpool this weekend. I know I am. I do have some cool Deadpool stuff. Unfortunately, no pillowcases, but I have some wild. I have a wild Deadpool toy, giant action figure. Have a really nice canvas. But ultimately, I'm just really looking forward to having a great experience with that film. I really don't like going to the movies much nowadays. It's usually a disappointment. Twitch Productions, we're in the midst of pre-production. We're actually working on a bug movie. Kay had a concept for something, and the two of us put our heads together, and we're just about done with the script. We've been working on special effects stuff. We took advantage of all the cicadas this year, and let's just say we found our way to a lot of castmates. So that's all put away and in stock, ready to go. We've been starting storyboarding. Going to shoot a lot of it, believe it or not. I mean, I guess this is one of the benefits of having, some space, is we can get to use our own space to shoot things. So it makes things very easy and obviously a little bit more affordable when you can set up offices and whatever to be lab rooms and whatnot. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to do a short film. We're potentially, I'm at a point with the story right now where I can kind of leave it where it is, or I can connect a dot to a bigger character concept that I have for a bigger film, and this could be kind of a way to Easter egg that character in for later. But I don't know. Maybe that project will never come about. I like to think of building like a universe, like a Twitch universe, where all the projects that we do somehow tie in something from a previous, and that led to a bigger thought process with a particular character that I want to really do something major with. So we'll see. Maybe we'll see who that character was before things changed in his life. And again, this is going to be a pretty cool bug movie, a little sci-fi type deal. But it's going to be horrific in nature. It has to be. It has to have that nightmare sequence. Look, I'm looking at you. Look at that. What is the top or bottom of that? I'm not even sure. I think that. Yeah. So, let's see. A comment from Michael. I just watch Ginsburg. Film festival stuff. So yeah, this year we brought the film festival here to Nashville, and we ran it for 3 years out of the Capitol Theater, which was really cool. One of the things that Elsie and I had talked about for years was, wouldn't it be cool to do the festival in a real theater and get it out of a hotel and whatnot? And I was very fortunate that I found an awesome theater that was a great venue partner, and they were so down with the concept. And so we ran it there for 3 years, and as I kind of alluded to before, things are so in flux in our state with our regular business here that this particular year, I said to Ad, there's too much happening right now with hemp. We have to, I mean, just for sheer, in a sense, just the logistics, we have to focus more on green trees this year, because we're not a massive team of people here. I have several employees, but in order to pull off a festival and green trees and all that, it's normally a pretty arduous task. And then on top of that, you're adding a lot of pressure this year that has been added legislatively in our state and so on. So it's like, you know what, we need to just put a pause for a moment and regroup a little bit to make sure that the foundation and the home base is secure, so that we can continue to move forward in the furnishings that we want to. Difficult decisions. It's funny. It's, you know, it's one of where they say if you live long enough, you'll be the hero and the villain or something like that. But it's also like if you live long enough, you're going to do a lot of shit. You know, that's the bottom line. You're going to do a lot of shit. You're going to experience a lot of shit. And hero, villain doesn't matter. And you just find yourself having to make the strangest decisions, and you know, things come out of your mouth that you never thought you would say. Other people have said to you, or whatever it may be. Just circumstance and whatnot that happens to you. So I'm just doing what I can to keep focused on the future for what we're all trying to do. That's a nice pillow. So guys, one last time through, it looks like I'm getting to the end of this pile, so we're going to be wrapping this up soon. We are selling them here today. The pillowcases are $25 a piece. They are plus tax. If you drop a comment in the live or you DM me within the next 24 hours that you're interested in one of these, and we'll get you set up and squared away with a pillowcase. And again, this is Adam coming from you from Green Trees Company in Hendersonville. I'm in the back room, in the pillow room, and we're going through pillows. We're quickly dicing up some pillows here. We're looking for everything that is Jason from Friday the 13th, because we're going to make up a Jason display for trade shows and events today. But I do want to show some of these off. They're 20 by 20s. There's a zipper on the bottom. They are quite soft. You could fill them with like a prefab, or you can do a fiber fill. Less than 5 minutes. Very easy. That's a pretty neat one too. Next event, I'm contemplating doing something in Kentucky, or I saw something in the Carolinas recently that came across my email. I got lucky the last few shows that we did where I was contacted. Somebody reached out to us and asked, hey, you know, we have some space. That's sweet. That's two-sided. We have some space available. Would you be interested? And those shows were fairly local, easy to get to. Couldn't pass them up. Get out there, make some contacts, and see what becomes of it. Oh, wow. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to wrap up the live now. Looks like they're going to be needing me up front. I think we've got a full showroom of folks up there, so I may have to put on my cannabis hat here and get into that mode. But it was great hanging with you today. Again, if you're interested in any of the types of stuff that I talk about, reach out. If you're curious about Mr. G's Collectibles, the eBay store link is in the details or info of this video. And if you're interested in some of the GTC collectibles, that link should be below as well. And I think all told, I think between the two right now there's 1,500 auctions, and there's 15 new auctions a day going up on Mr. G's. If you like comics, hit Mr. G's. If you like movies, hit GTC. You're going to find a little bit of everything over there. So check it out, guys. I will see you next time, I guess. Later.